My best man proposed to the maid of honor at my wedding, so I pretended to forgive him and waited a full year so I could announce our pregnancy at their wedding. My best man Marcus got down on one knee during my wedding reception, pulled out a ring, and proposed to my wife's best friend Rachel right there on the dance floor. Everyone stopped and stared while Marcus gave this whole speech about how our love inspired him and he couldn't wait another day to make Rachel his wife. The DJ cut the music. My wife Emma grabbed my arm and whispered, "We should be happy for them." Rachel said yes. Everyone cheered, and suddenly my wedding reception became their engagement party. I smiled and congratulated them while my hands shook with rage. Marcus and I had been friends since college. 14 years of friendship, and he chose my wedding day to steal the spotlight. I told him it was fine, that I was honored our love inspired him. He hugged me and said he knew I'd understand. Emma said I was being gracious and mature about the whole thing, but I wasn't being gracious. I was planning revenge. Emma and I had been trying for a baby for 6 months before the wedding. 2 weeks after Marcus proposed at our reception, Emma got pregnant. We confirmed it with 3 different tests. I wanted to tell everyone immediately, but then I had a better idea. Marcus and Rachel set their wedding date for exactly 1 year and 2 weeks after ours. Same venue, almost the same guest list. I told Emma we should wait to announce the pregnancy at their wedding, steal their thunder the same way they stole ours. She thought it was petty at first, but eventually agreed. Over the next months, we kept the pregnancy secret from everyone except my parents. Emma wore loose clothes to family dinners. We declined invitations to events where questions might come up. Marcus called me constantly asking if I wanted to help with wedding planning, and I played the supportive friend role perfectly. But strange things started happening around month 4. Emma's phone habits changed completely. She started taking calls in other rooms and deleting text messages immediately after reading them. When I asked who was texting so much, she said it was just Rachel planning wedding stuff. Marcus stopped inviting me to hang out one-on-one. Every time I suggested getting lunch or watching a game, he'd make excuses. But I'd see posts on his social media showing him at bars and restaurants with other friends. He was actively avoiding me. I checked our joint bank account in month 6 and noticed transfers I didn't recognize. Small amounts, 300 here, 500 there, always to the same account. When I asked Emma about it, she got defensive, saying she was buying baby stuff and wanted to surprise me. Rachel started acting weird around us too. At their engagement party, she barely talked to Emma, even though they'd been best friends since high school. When I mentioned it to Emma later, she changed the subject quickly and said Rachel was just stressed about wedding planning. Month 7, I found hotel receipts in Emma's purse. 3 different hotels, all in our city, all charged to our credit card on days Emma said she was working late. When I confronted her, she said she was meeting Rachel to plan surprise bridal shower stuff and didn't want me knowing the details. I hired a private investigator named Phil without telling Emma, gave him her schedule, Marcus's schedule, asked him to follow them both for 2 weeks. He sent me preliminary findings after 5 days that made my blood run cold. Emma and Marcus had been meeting up twice a week at a hotel downtown. Their wedding arrived, and Emma was 8 months pregnant, showing clearly in her dress. We sat through the ceremony, and I kept my hand on Emma's belly, smiling at everyone who congratulated us quietly. The reception started, speeches happened, and I waited for the perfect moment to make our announcement. But during the best man speech, something happened that changed everything. Marcus's brother stood up with the microphone and said he was honored to give this toast since Marcus's real best friend couldn't be here today. Then he looked directly at me with this expression I couldn't read. The rest of the story is on my channel or linked below. I leave the reception hall in a daze, Marcus's brother's words ringing in my ears. Real best friend couldn't be here today. The implication hangs in the air like a guillotine blade. I managed to keep my composure somehow, nodding at guests who congratulate me on Emma's pregnancy as I make my way to the exit. Emma catches up to me near the door, her hand resting on her swollen belly. "Where are you going? We haven't even had cake yet." "I need some air," I say, forcing a smile that feels like it might crack my face. Just feeling a little overwhelmed. The baby's kicking up a storm. She looks concerned but doesn't push it. "Don't be too long. Rachel will throw the bouquet soon." I nod and slip out, immediately pulling out my phone to call Phil. He answers on the first ring. "I need to see everything," I tell him, now. 40 minutes later, I'm sitting in Phil's car in the venue parking lot, staring at surveillance photos spread across his dashboard. Emma and Marcus entering a hotel together. Emma and Marcus having lunch at a restaurant across town. Emma and Marcus in an intimate embrace outside her office building. "These go back 8 months, Phil says quietly. "I'm sorry, man." My hands shake as I flip through the evidence. "And you're sure?" Phil nods grimly. "Hotel receipts match these dates." He hands me a folder. "Room service for 2, always paid in cash, but I got confirmation from staff who recognized them both as regulars." As if on cue, Emma's phone starts ringing in my jacket pocket. She'd asked me to hold it during the ceremony and I'd forgotten to give it back. Marcus's name flashes on the screen and something inside me goes cold and still. I decline the call and scroll through her recent messages. Nothing suspicious, she's been careful. But the call history shows dozens of conversations with Marcus, many lasting over an hour, all during times she told me she was with Rachel planning wedding details. I return to the reception just as they're cutting the cake. Emma waves me over, her face flushed with happiness that now looks like guilt to my newly opened eyes. I play my part perfectly, smiling and placing my hand on her stomach when Marcus's mother asks when we're due. 8 weeks to go, I say cheerfully. We couldn't be more excited. That night, I sleep in the guest room, claiming the baby is making me restless and I don't want to disturb Emma. She looks hurt but accepts my explanation. I lie awake until 3 a.m., planning my next steps with methodical precision. The next morning, Emma finds me making coffee in the kitchen. She wraps her arms around me from behind, her pregnant belly pressing against my back. "Marcus called me yesterday," she says casually. "He has some questions about their honeymoon plans. I told him you'd call him back." I turn and kiss her forehead. "Of course, anything for the happy couple." Emma hesitates, then says, "You know, those meetings I've been having with Marcus, they were about a surprise for you. For our anniversary." The lie slides off her tongue so easily it makes me wonder how many others I've missed. I smile and tell her how thoughtful that is. Over the next week, Marcus calls me 3 times with urgent wedding questions. What did our caterer charge for the premium bar package? Did we think the DJ was worth the money? Would I mind helping him write his vows? I answer each question with enthusiasm, offering to meet him for lunch to discuss details. He always has an excuse why he can't make it. You know what would be amazing? I tell him during our third call. If you guys used the same honeymoon resort we did, I could help you book it. That's really generous, he stammers. Let me talk to Rachel about it. I start documenting everything in a journal I keep locked in my desk drawer at work. Every call, every excuse, every moment. Emma's story doesn't quite add up. I note how she rushes to the bathroom each morning. Her morning sickness worse than it was in the first trimester. The doctor says everything looks healthy, she tells me after her appointment. Strong heartbeat, growing right on schedule. I smile and kiss her, wondering if the baby has Marcus's eyes or his nose. The thought makes my stomach turn, but I maintain my facade. I can't wait to meet our little one, I say, placing my hand on her belly. That night, I hear her on the phone in the bathroom, speaking in hushed tones. I stand outside the door, listening as she reassures someone that everything is fine, that I don't suspect anything. He's excited about the baby, she whispers. He doesn't know anything. Just stick to the plan. I return to bed before she emerges, pretending to be asleep when she slides in beside me. In the darkness, I open my eyes and stare at the ceiling, mentally adding another entry to my journal. The evidence is mounting, and my patience is wearing thin. But I won't confront them yet. Not until I have everything I need to destroy them both completely. Just like they've destroyed me. 3 weeks after Marcus and Rachel's wedding, an envelope arrives in our mailbox. The return address makes my stomach clench. Rachel's parents' house. I tear it open in the driveway, already knowing what I'll find. You're invited to celebrate baby Richardson. The pastel blue invitation features cartoon storks and teddy bears. I stare at the flowing script, noting that Rachel has signed as the host. Not Emma's supposed best friend organizing her baby shower, but my best friend's fiance. What's that? Emma asks, waddling up behind me. She's showing more now. The pregnancy unmistakable at 4 months. I hand her the invitation without comment, watching her face carefully. A flash of something panic, guilt, crosses her features before she smiles brightly. Oh, how sweet of Rachel. I wasn't expecting this. Really? Your best friend throwing you a baby shower is unexpected? I keep my tone light, curious. Emma tucks the invitation into her purse. We haven't talked much lately. She's been busy with wedding stuff. That night, while Emma's in the shower, I check our joint bank statements. Something has been bothering me about our finances. Small discrepancies I dismissed as pregnancy brain when Emma explained them away. I scroll through months of transactions, noting withdrawals of $200, $300 every couple of weeks, always in cash. Then I find it a transfer to an account I don't recognize. I call our bank, pretending to be confused about where I'd sent the money. That would be checking account ending in 4721, the representative says helpfully. It's a joint account under Emma Richardson and Marcus Westfield. My blood runs cold. A joint account. I hang up and sit in the darkness of our home office, trying to process this betrayal. When did they open it? Why would they need a joint account unless my phone buzzes? It's Phil. I've got something, he says without preamble. Audio recording from the hotel room last week. You should come hear this. I meet Phil in his car again, this time parked behind a 24-hour diner. He hands me headphones and presses play on his laptop. Emma's voice comes through first. We can't keep doing this, Marcus. It's getting too complicated. Just a few more months, Marcus replies. Once the baby's born, we'll figure it out. He's starting to ask questions about the money, about why I'm always meeting you. Tell him it's wedding stuff. That's worked so far. And when he asks why I'm still planning your wedding 8 months later, there's silence. Then Marcus sighs. I don't know, Em. I just know I can't lose you. Either of you. I rip the headphones off, unable to listen to more. Phil looks at me sympathetically. There's about 40 minutes more, he says quietly. Gets pretty explicit at points. I shake my head. I've heard enough. When I get home, Emma's on her phone in the kitchen. She quickly swipes at the screen when I walk in, but not before I catch a glimpse of a text thread with Marcus's name. Hey, she says too brightly. I was just about to make some tea. Want some? I smile and kiss her cheek. Sure. Who were you texting? Just Rachel. More shower details. The lie slides off her tongue so easily, it's almost impressive. The next day, Marcus cancels our lunch for the 3rd time in a row. Work emergency, he texts. Rain check? I respond with understanding and offer to help with wedding planning anytime. Playing the supportive friend is becoming second nature, even as I document each cancellation, each lie, each inconsistency. That weekend, we attend a birthday party for our mutual friend Alex. Rachel is there, hanging on Marcus's arm and avoiding my eyes all night. When I approach her at the drinks table, she practically jumps. Oh, hi, how are you? She stammers, looking anywhere but at me. Great, I say cheerfully. Emma's really looking forward to the shower. Thanks for organizing it. She nods too quickly. Of course! That's what friends do, right? Right, I agree, noting how she glances at Emma across the room, who's deep in conversation with Marcus in a corner. Friends support each other, no matter what. Rachel excuses herself and doesn't speak to me again all night. 2 weeks later, we have the 6-month ultrasound. The technician smiles as she moves the wand over Emma's belly. There he is, she says. Definitely a boy. Emma bursts into tears, clutching my hand. I wonder if she's crying because she's happy or because she knows she's carrying another man's son. He's perfect, I say, playing my part. Our little miracle. That night, looking for my cufflinks for a work event, I find Marcus's in our bedroom drawer. They're distinctive silver with blue sapphire accents. A gift from his parents. I remember him showing off at our wedding. I hold them in my palm, feeling their weight. The final piece of evidence I needed without even trying. I call Phil the next morning. I need to know when it started, I tell him. Before our wedding? Before the engagement? Phil is silent for a moment. Are you sure you want to know? I need to know everything, he sighs. Based on hotel records and witness statements, it's been going on for at least 14 months. Well, before your wedding? I hang up and immediately call a lawyer specializing in paternity fraud cases. The receptionist schedules a consultation for the following day. Just to confirm, she says, this is regarding a potential paternity fraud situation? Yes, I reply, watching Emma through our kitchen window as she waters the plants on our deck, one hand resting protectively on her growing belly. That's exactly what it is. The DNA test kit arrives in a plain brown package, addressed to James Wilson, the alias I gave when ordering. I hide it in my golf bag where Emma never looks, waiting waiting for the right moment. That night, after she falls asleep, I carefully collect several strands of her hair from her brush, sealing them in the collection envelope. For my sample, I swab the inside of my cheek, following the instructions meticulously. I package everything back up and drop it at a 24-hour FedEx box on my way to work the next morning. 6 to 8 business days, the confirmation email reads. I mark the date on my calendar and continue playing my role. Marcus and Rachel's wedding week arrives with a flurry of activity. I attend the rehearsal dinner, smiling and offering wedding advice when asked. Emma, now visibly pregnant at 7 months, keeps rubbing her belly nervously throughout the evening. Are you feeling okay? I ask, playing the concerned husband. Just tired, she says, avoiding my eyes. The baby's been active today. I notice Rachel hasn't included Emma in any of the pre-wedding festivities. When the bridesmaids gather for photos, Emma stands awkwardly to the side, pretending to be engrossed in her phone. I thought Rachel was having a bachelorette party tonight, I ask casually as we drive home. Emma shifts uncomfortably. She is. Girls only. And you're not going? I thought you were her best friend. Her knuckles whiten as she grips her purse. We've grown apart. With the wedding planning and the pregnancy, we just haven't had much time together. I nod sympathetically, though I know the truth. Phil confirmed that Rachel knows everything. She's been aware of the affair for months, but chose to marry Marcus anyway. That night, Emma breaks down in tears while getting ready for bed. I've been such a terrible person, she sobs, mascara streaming down her face. My heart races. Is this it? The confession? What do you mean? I ask, keeping my voice neutral. I've been so caught up in the pregnancy that I've been neglecting our relationship. She takes my hand. I feel guilty for not being the wife you deserve. The partial truth makes me want to scream, but I swallow my rage and pull her close. It's okay. We're going to be fine. 2 days later, the DNA results arrive in my email. I wait until Emma leaves for her prenatal appointment before opening it, my hands shaking as I click the link. The results are clear. 0% probability of paternity. And there's more. The lab included a secondary match from their database. Potential paternal relative match. Marcus Westfield, 99.9% probability of paternity. I print everything, adding it to my growing file of evidence. My lawyer has already drawn up divorce papers, and I've secured a separate apartment starting next month. Everything is falling into place. The day before the wedding, I'm having lunch alone when someone slides into the booth across from me. It's Marcus's brother, James. We need to talk, he says, his expression grim. I set down my sandwich. About what? About tomorrow. He leans forward. Look, I know what's going on with Marcus and Emma. I've known for months. Is that right? I keep my face neutral. Marcus told me everything when he was drunk last Christmas. I've been trying to get him to come clean, but he shakes his head. Just stay away from the wedding, okay? For everyone's sake. I smile. I already RSVP'd. It would be rude not to show up. James's eyes narrow. Whatever you're planning, don't. It won't end well for anyone. I appreciate your concern, I say, signaling for the check, but I wouldn't miss my best friend's wedding for anything. The wedding day arrives sunny and clear. Emma looks uncomfortable in her maternity dress as we drive to the venue, the same place where we got married just over a year ago. The irony isn't lost on me. You look beautiful, I tell her, and mean it despite everything. Her hand instinctively goes to her belly. Thanks, she whispers, and for a moment I see genuine remorse in her eyes. At the reception, I keep my folder of evidence close. I watch Marcus and Rachel's first dance, noting how his eyes keep drifting to Emma at our table. Emma excuses herself twice to use the bathroom, and both times Marcus disappears shortly after. When it's time for speeches, James takes the microphone. His eyes find mine in the crowd before he begins. I've known Marcus my entire life, obviously, he starts, earning a laugh. I've watched him grow from an annoying little brother into the man he is today. He pauses, taking a deep breath. Marriage is about honesty, about trust, about being someone's real best friend. Emma stiffens beside me, her hand clutching her water glass. Some people here today understand what real friendship means, James continues, his gaze burning into mine, and some people clearly don't. I raise my champagne glass slightly in his direction, a silent acknowledgement of the gauntlet he's thrown down. He knows I know, and he knows what's coming. As James finishes his speech, I check my watch. Soon the DJ will announce the cake cutting, and that's when I'll make my move, standing up with my evidence in hand, ready to deliver a toast no one in this room will ever forget. James finishes his speech, and the crowd applauds politely. I catch his eye across the room and raise my champagne glass slightly. He gives me an almost imperceptible nod, knowing what's coming. The DJ announces the cake cutting, and guests begin shifting their attention toward the 5-tier monstrosity at the center of the room. I feel a strange calm wash over me as I stand, champagne glass in one hand, manila folder in the other. Before we move to the cake, I say loudly, my voice carrying across the reception hall, I'd like to offer a toast to the happy couple. Heads turn toward me. Emma stiffens beside me, her hand instinctively moving to her swollen belly. Marcus freezes mid-step, champagne glass halfway to his lips. Marcus and I have been friends for 14 years. I continue, smiling broadly. We've shared everything, apartments in college, career advice, even, as it turns out, my wife. A confused murmur ripples through the crowd. Rachel's mother gasps audibly. I'd like to congratulate Marcus not just on his marriage today, but on his impending fatherhood. I gesture toward Emma. You see, the baby my wife is carrying isn't mine. It's his. The room erupts in shocked whispers. Emma grabs my arm, her nails digging into my skin. Stop it, she hisses. What are you doing? I gently remove her hand and open the folder, pulling out the DNA results. I have here the results of a paternity test showing a 0% chance that I'm the father of Emma's baby. I hold up the paper, and a 99.9% match to Marcus Westfield. Marcus's mother stands up, her face ashen. Marcus Anthony Westfield? What is he talking about? I continue before Marcus can respond. I also have hotel receipts spanning the last 14 months, showing how they've been meeting regularly since before my wedding. I spread the papers on the table, surveillance photos, bank statements from their joint account, and audio recordings that I'm sure none of you want to hear in mixed company. Rachel collapses into her chair, tears streaming down her face. You knew? She whispers to Marcus. The baby is yours and you still married me today? Marcus finally finds his voice. Rachel, I can explain. Explain what? Rachel's father thunders, moving toward Marcus with clenched fists. Two groomsmen quickly step between them. Emma is sobbing now, mascara running down her face. Please, she begs, clutching at my sleeve. You don't understand. I do love you. This was a mistake. A 14-month mistake? I ask calmly. A mistake that continued after our wedding? After you got pregnant? That's not a mistake, Emma. That's a choice you made every single day. James approaches, his expression grim but satisfied. I tried to warn you, he says to Marcus. I told you this would all come out eventually. You knew? Marcus's father demands, turning on James. You knew about this and didn't tell us? James shrugs. I told him to come clean months ago. He wouldn't listen. I pull one final document from my folder and hand it to Emma. Divorce papers. Already filed. You'll be served officially next week, but I thought you should have a copy now. Emma stares at the papers, her hands shaking. Please don't do this. We can work through this. There's nothing to work through, I say, finally allowing some of my anger to show. You and Marcus can raise your son together. That's what you wanted, isn't it? Rachel stands suddenly, ripping her veil off and throwing it at Marcus. You bastard, she hisses. I knew something was wrong. I knew it. She turns to Emma. And you, my best friend, how could you? Rachel, please. Emma pleads, but Rachel is already storming out, her parents following close behind. Marcus's mother is crying now, his father standing in stunned silence. Guests are whispering, some already gathering their things to leave. The perfect wedding is crumbling around them, just as mine did a year ago. I place my champagne glass down carefully. Congratulations again on your wedding day, Marcus. I hope it was everything you dreamed it would be. I walk out without looking back, feeling lighter than I have in months. 6 months later, I'm sitting at a coffee shop when Phil slides into the chair across from me. Thought you might want to know, he says, pushing a newspaper clipping toward me. They're getting divorced already. I glance at the announcement. Marcus and Rachel's marriage lasted exactly 4 months. According to Phil, Marcus moved in with Emma after Rachel kicked him out, but that relationship imploded shortly after the baby was born. Emma's living with her parents now, Phil says. Marcus is paying child support but barely sees the kid. I nod, feeling no satisfaction, just a dull acknowledgement. How's Jennifer? I ask, changing the subject. Phil smiles. She's good. She's asking about you again. Phil's sister Jennifer and I had coffee once, 3 months after the wedding disaster. She was kind, funny, and completely removed from the drama of my past life. We've been texting regularly since then. Tell her I'll call her tonight, I say, and mean it. As I walk home, I think about how much has changed in the past year. The pain hasn't disappeared completely. I doubt it ever will, but it's dulled to a manageable ache. I've rebuilt my life piece by piece. A new apartment, a promotion at work, friends who stood by me through everything. I look at my phone and see a text from Jennifer. Dinner tomorrow? I found that Thai place you mentioned. I smile and type back. It's a date. For the first time in a long time, I'm looking forward to what comes next.